I chose a picture that I wanted, and then I drew a sketch on an A4 paper, and this is a really good idea because it gives you an idea of the size of the cake that you want to make. Initially, I had the idea of putting these blossom flowers on top of the kimono. Then I changed my mind because I wanted the cake to be more like my daughter's kimono that she was going to wear. So I used the flowers for something else, but I'm just showing you how I made them. And for this part here, to press them down, it's better to do it when they're a little bit harder, and then they will hold their shape. And you can paint them as you like. So this is what I have decided to do, decorations for the party. So I have used skewers and toothpicks to make just little branches, and then I glue the flowers on the branches. I made this little handbag, and this actually belonged to my sister and then passed on to me, and now it belongs to my girls. So I had this idea of making the bag, making with icing sugar. So that's the bag over there, and I just made this miniature one. It looks so cute, and I just put little flowers all over it. For the bottom part of the cake, I have chosen a denser cake, so it would hold the weight from the head. For the head, I have just used some light sponge, and you definitely need support for the cake as big as this one, otherwise the cake will fall apart. And I use a template to help me guide and carve this as best as I could. After I carved the cake, I have covered it with buttercream with a thin layer first, and then I did a second layer quite thin as well. And it is definitely a lifesaver if you have acetate, and that will help, especially if you have a cake like this which is all different shapes. So you can get a nice and smooth finish for the icing, because it will show if you have bumps on the buttercream. So I made little feet for Hello Kitty, and I decided to put some of these, it's like a geisha shoes, I'm not sure the name, but my mum, she used to have these wooden ones, and I have to say they're not the most comfortable shoes, but they do look cute on Hello Kitty. And for the ears, to stick them on the cake, I'm using spaghetti, and that helps to keep the ears in place. I have to say I'm not the best working with icing. This is actually the second time that I attempt doing something like this. The first time I did a giraffe cake, which it wasn't as successful. So I had a little bit of difficulty smoothing the sides of the head, but I hid the imperfections with a little bit of decoration. Here I'm making the kimono part. I have covered the bottom, and then the top in the kimono, the left side always goes on top of the right side when you fold in the front. And then I made the little arms, and I folded around some more of the icing to make the sleeves. And again, I used some more spaghetti to hold both arms into place. I have used a little bit of cling wrap, and I put it inside the sleeves just to hold their shape until the icing was set. This was the easy part, making the face, and that's why it's really helpful if you have a template, because you can just match everything on the template and it will look much better on the cake. I have made this little bowl to put on the back of the kimono, and again I use a little bit of water and spaghetti as well to hold everything in place.
And I use these spaghettis because when I'm taking some of the icing out, if I miss anything inside the cake, it will be okay to eat it.
And of course I had to make that classic bowl that Hello Kitty wears on her head. To cover these holes that was left by the spaghettis, I have used the leftover flowers that I have used for the little bag that I made. And yeah, I'm just showing you the string that I used to put around, and also to cover those holes again that I made with the spaghetti. If you are wondering why I did a Japanese party, it's because I am half Japanese, and the kimono that my daughter is wearing was made by my grandmother, and it just happened that she really loved the kimono and she wanted to wear it for her party. Here I was trying to copy a little bit of the flowers from the kimono that my daughter was going to wear, and I drew some on the cake.
Happy birthday.